Welcome to SquareOne, the podcast where we explore the beginnings of tech journeys and dive into the latest tech topics with industry professionals. I'm your host, Sarah Sridhar, and in each episode, we blend personal stories with insights into the ever evolving world of technology. Let's dive in. Today, we are going to talk about go to market successfully behind the scenes. We are joined by Ms. Erika Irby. Erika, we're glad to have you here. And can you introduce yourself briefly and explain what the go-to market strategies do at Microsoft?
Yeah, absolutely. So my name is Erika Irby, like you said, and I am a marketing director in our Global Partner Solutions Americas team. So we really focus on driving and accelerating partner pipeline and then also accelerating partner growth across our ecosystem and often specific to an industry or a partner segment, but we are across the entire ecosystem really trying to drive that Microsoft revenue and our partners' revenue as well.
Okay, that's great to hear. And what is the most exciting part of your job when it comes to bringing Microsoft solutions into market?
Well, I think it's pretty incredible to work for a company that is leading the technology for the entire world. And obviously that's critical for businesses and, all of that, but there's a very human side to Microsoft that not a lot of people get to witness. For example, the incredible accessibility features that we have with a lot of our devices have made some just absolutely material impacts in education and also just in the personal lives of just humans across the world. So it's pretty incredible to be a part of that type of technology that's really making a massive difference for people's lives.
Yeah, it really does. If I may, I would like to share my personal story. So, I come from India where you cannot get MacBooks and everything for like very high price, but you could get a laptop and get a Windows license for a cheaper cost, and it's easy to learn. So in India, we widely I think around 99% of the market is Windows. Like everybody uses Windows, and we learn from Windows. So I would like to thank Microsoft for doing that.
Awesome, I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
How does Microsoft identify and prioritize which markets or customer segments to target with new products?
Microsoft does a lot of extensive persona and tranche planning for every solution play that we have. And that is often broken down into a series of sales scenarios. And we really look at which of these is most applicable to what customer type, what industry, not just the segment, but we can get down pretty intense to even the decision maker. And we really do a lot of research behind that to make sure that when we roll that out, either directly to customers or through our partners, that it's very targeted to that persona or tranche that we're trying to reach, really to obviously help amplify things through the funnel and make it work better.
It's been like the corporate structure even has changed. Nowadays, the CEOs are not handling the full side decision making. So sometimes in some projects I work with. So for example, you have let's say they are implementing a finance solution. The finance guy has to authorize that, and they have to be ready to change. And and how do you usually does Microsoft provide resources to help partners so that they can convince the decision makers?
Yes, so we will supply, for example, for industry, you're talking about finance, we have an entire playbook that is built for our partners to follow along with different scenarios. This is for healthcare. This is how you work in finance. This is how you manage with manufacturing. And then to your point about decision makers, we do provide a lot of resources that offer different talk tracks or objection handling or different sales cheat sheets type of things that are specific to that decision maker, who may have a different set of needs compared to, the CTO and the CFO and, the CMO or whoever you're trying to reach. they have a different thought process on the goals they're trying to reach, the targets they want to hit. And so we have a lot of resources around that are very specific to those personas.
Okay. So do you have is this link this resource accessible only to partners, or the public could access it too?
It's really to partners because, and all of that would be in the Partner Center. It is our goal to enable them to go and sell on our behalf.
Okay.
So we want to make sure they're armed with all of those, sales resources.
Okay.
Now, for customers, to your point, in our marketing directly to them, then we will tweak that marketing to fit those needs.
Okay.
And then for the partners, they have their own resources, very similar, of course. We want to have consistent messaging, but the way that we market through partner and then the way that we market directly to customer are different.
So partners who are listening to this, we will add the link. Of course, only the partners can access this, but at this video, in the comment section, we are going to provide the link so that the partners can access these resources and benefit from them.
Yep, everything's in the Partner Center or the Partner Marketing Center.
Thank you, thank you. And next question, what role does customer feedback play in refining Microsoft's go-to-market strategies after a product launch?
So customer feedback is super critical, of course, and we leverage that. That's why there's updates and new versions of products, because a lot of that is based on customer feedback and also how we go to market. But I also want to call out that partner feedback is really critical for us for go-to-market, because they are, in many times, they are the closest to the partner, or sorry, the customer, and they are witnessing that customer journey firsthand because they're helping them through it. And so their feedback is really critical to us and how we are, depending on like the messaging, the content, tweaking things because it didn't really land, but this is really what they're looking for. Sometimes Microsoft may miss the boat on a pain point that we thought was a pain point, but then getting feedback from the partners, they're like, no, actually this is the obstacle that I run into a lot, or this is the challenge that they're looking to solve. And it's not always about, price. It's really about, the value that that the product brings and the benefits from the partner as well, and the services and efficiency, productivity, on and on. There's all these things. And the partners are really the face of that. Okay. And so their feedback most dramatically, I think, impacts our go-to-market.
Okay. So again, they can provide the feedback at the partner website, and Microsoft's personnel will work with them.
There's a couple different ways for partners to provide feedback. So if they're managed, they should leverage their PDM, their Partner Development Manager, because that's their in for Microsoft right off the bat. Okay. If they're unmanaged, but they leverage a distributor, then they should leverage their distributor to provide that feedback, because that is their direct link to Microsoft. If they are neither of those things, and they're still a partner and just leverage in a different way, then we have a lot of community calls that are monthly, and different partner insights, either webinars or blogs and things that we send out, and those often allow Q&A and feedback. And I would also say events like that you and I are at right now, the IMCP, is an excellent way to get feedback to Microsoft, because IMCP is, of course, that direct link back to Microsoft.
That's great. We will also, viewers, our listeners, should I say, so we will also add links to blogs or the places where you can provide your feedback, and I'll put up a detailed blog on how to interact with the Microsoft professionals and how do you get access to them. And also, I'll also write about IAMCP. Please follow my blog to understand the process. And then, what's one piece of advice you would give to a Microsoft partner trying to for their eBiz go-to-market strategy, eBiz apps?
So for biz apps or
biz
for
apps, yeah.
Okay, so this is biz apps is of course complex and often requires a lot of services involved. So you can leverage a system integrator could be a great partner, MSP could be a great partner, but from a Microsoft perspective, the Biz Apps team actually offers a lot of different community calls, again, different focus groups, a lot of resources. There are teams dedicated, of course, to biz apps across, across Microsoft, and there are also specific Dynamics partners that are naturally just focused on that business, and they really have that expertise, especially from a technical standpoint. So again, if you're a managed partner, then definitely leverage your PDM to make sure you're being connected with the appropriate either teams at Microsoft or forums or groups that really focus on that type of business and share the best practices. There's also an entire set of collateral and resources and playbooks and solution plays that are specifically focused on biz apps. And then again, if you're unmanaged, your distributor can help you get those resources. And of course, the Partner Center is the place to go for those resources. So I would just also encourage partners. Microsoft has Marketplace. We have Azure Marketplace. We have a lot of opportunities there. Distributors also have marketplaces, and you can sell your solutions and your business application products through Microsoft. And then finally, I would also just recommend, here we are at IMCP, and we've heard from a lot of MSPs, in particular Venvito, and it's Rob Fagan's group, and he did an excellent training on demystifying selling with Microsoft. And while it was not specific for biz apps, it really gave a lot of great advice about following the MSIM stages, aligning to the priorities, which biz apps actually fits in every single one of the MCAP's priorities. So I think that partnering with those type of partners that can drive that training for your sales force could make a huge difference.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. And going to the next thing, looking ahead, what's one thing you're excited about in Microsoft's future go-to-market plans?
So this is super exciting because we are coming up in FY26 planning. So Microsoft, our fiscal year starts July 1, and we're just beginning, to look at the year ahead. There's been so many changes and updates and progress between, AI and different products and services, and but also just some fundamental changes in our org and even with our partner programs and profitability. There's been just a tremendous amount of change, in particular in this H2. And I think that there is a lot of things that are going to finally come to fruition. This is also a great opportunity for us. Every fiscal year we have a chance to kind of start fresh and react to a lot of the feedback that we've received throughout the year. So I'm very excited for the changes to come. I think that there is so much on the horizon and so much good to come. And while things sometimes take a long time to improve, they do happen. So I do want to give a shout out to our partners to appreciate their patience, and also our customers. But I think that we're just on the cusp of just something incredible, and so much of it will be coming soon.
That's great. Those were my questions. Thank you very much for taking your time off and in this tight schedule attending the podcast.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Awesome.